Sure, Destiny has a lot of issues, but I'm here to talk about the PvP side with you. Let's start to talk with classes. Bungie introduced a Sunbreaker class, which completely changed the balance of the game. If you're playing 6v6 control and you're playing players of equal skill level, chances are the team with more Sunbreakers will win, just because they can control the map and win the game, which people want to do. And let's also address the fact that Bungie PvP maps, they are not good. It's just a bunch of tight quarters. You're forced to fight into lanes where people are already staring at just because of map design. They made great maps in the Halo series. I mean, there's a lot of weak maps in Halo, but the good maps more than made up for it. Right now I'm playing Twilight Gap in this video, and I think Twilight Gap is a good map because there's open angles and you can move around freely. Maybe sure the C-spawn is not the greatest, but at least you have a chance to fight out. That's the issue with the majority of maps, and Bungie continued that trend through all their DLCs, including Crota's End, Prison of Elders, and the Taken King. They've also failed to address custom games, which I think is very irresponsible of them, considering the large player base and their budget. If friends want to play each other in a team-based game type, they are forced to search against each other, and they also have to have a host for their search party that is located geographically near the team they wish to play. It's pretty embarrassing that they had to have a custom server set up so that players can match each other when they did the Red Bull Rift tourney at Red Bull Studios. But that's a story for a whole nother. Game types continue to be weak. Control hasn't been adjusted. I mean, sure they added zone control, but that's not really that fun to play. They added Rift. It's nothing new. It was all overhyped. It's not a fun game type. If you're playing, you can't really search a game type solo because you have to hope that your teammates are competent. If they're not, you lose because you get so many points for scoring the Rift. And then if you're playing a team, you're just going to get spawn trapped all game because the spawns in Rift are terrible. You can just walk up, you can literally just, if you know where to stand, you can spawn kill people. You can just stay behind a corner of a wall and you see them spawn right on the radar. You can kill them before they can even do anything about it because you show up on radar before you actually even spawn in this game. Now let's talk about salvage. You get points for dismantling the probe. You get more points for dismantling the probe than you do for actually capturing the probe. And then you need to hold the probe for 50 seconds. You dismantle the probe in about 3 seconds. If you just wait for their team to capture it and then you go dismantle it yourself, you're in a better position to win because it's easier to get points from dismantling than capturing. Considering to get points from capturing the probe, you have to be standing in the zone to capture it. If you're outside while your teammate's capturing it, you get 0 points towards your team score. And another issue is the failure of matching teams appropriately. As you can see, I'm playing Iron Banner in this video, but look at this. We're playing 6. We have a team of 6. We're playing a team of randoms. Look at the score. Can we have a team of 6? Can we have a good game experience? Or are we just going to go pub stomp these players? And I'm sure they don't enjoy it. It's not fun for us. We want to play teams if we're playing as a team. I'm sure there's some algorithm that Bungie has, but they just don't want to use it because look what they did with Halo 3. Halo 3 would match you based on team size, which was great because it gave you a fair chance to win the game. Also, an issue is team balance when you're searching solo. If you're a good player, the chances are that you've been like, why are my teammates so bad? It's because the Trusco rating places players with players that are worse than them because they want to try to have balanced teams. But look what ends up happening. You end up having teammates that go 1-20. I have multiple screenshots of this type of thing happening to me, and it's just a frustrating experience. Bungie needs to have some sort of skill-based matchmaking if they want this game to survive, because I'm sure people are sick of running to teams of 6 and getting pub stomped and vice versa. Competitive games are fun with appropriate balance, which Bungie still does not want to address. They haven't even talked about adding custom games into the game yet, which I mentioned earlier, which is annoying. It's a yes, no, or maybe. Are you really going to do that to your fan base? You can't answer that question. If they're not answering the question, it means no, because when you don't answer a question, it's something that people don't want to hear. So I don't know what Bungie's doing. I don't know what their plans are. Hopefully they do something about it soon, or their PvP is going to die. A lot of players are probably going to move on to Halo 5 and to Black Ops 3 when they release, or at least the people I know, and I just don't see why Bungie can't address a large portion of their fan base. Look at the tournaments that are held online. They had more viewers than Call of Duty or Halo tournaments did, but Bungie still refuses to address players' interests in Crucible. To me, it seems like Activision has a lot to do with this. Activision wants their cash cow, Call of Duty, to remain the major, not Crucible, but PvP game under their publishing authority. And that's unlikely to change. Activision is probably the worst thing to happen to Bungie. Look what they did with Marty. They threw Marty O'Donnell out the door because he wanted money for his amazing work. And then they tried taking away money from him, and Bungie lost a civil lawsuit because they completely fucked him, and not many people seem to know about that, nor do they care. But that's Bungie now. Bungie's Activision. I hope you guys thought that the comments I made were good. I hope maybe you consider playing a different game until Bungie fixes what they should have fixed at the release of the game. Like, they don't even comment on things, but yeah. Later, guys.